London Gateway Port, a symbol of Britain's role in global trade. Ships come here from 60 different countries around the world. But what happens next? What will be the rules for all these imports and exports in the future? It is a fundamental question about Brexit. Many are now promoting the idea of the UK leaving the EU but staying on as a member of the European Customs Union. That's similar to Turkey's relationship with the EU. It would mean a trade agreement that removes all taxes on goods as they travel around Europe. What that means is that the goods within these containers can be sent to France or Germany. They can be unpacked and distributed across Europe, and then the containers can be refilled and sent back here to the UK, all without any extra taxes being imposed. So could a customs union be the answer to the biggest Brexit headache of all? The prospect of a return to an obtrusive physical border between Northern Ireland and the Republic. Well, a customs union would mean that you could get rid of checks on tariffs between the countries. But it wouldn't end the need for some kind of legal border, because the Republic of Ireland would be in the European single market and Northern Ireland wouldn't.
A customs union is a necessary component of dealing with the issue of the Irish land border, but it's far from sufficient. What we're talking about in order to deal with the Irish land border is close regulatory alignment, so that there's no need for checks on, for example, products of animal origin, so be it lamb, milk or beef.
But there are other issues to deal with. The customs union hampers the UK's ability to sign individual trade deals. An alternative which would allow the UK to sign bespoke trade deals to send goods like that off around the world is called Common Market 2.0. It's a pretty soft form of Brexit, loved by some, hated by others, but support for it is growing. This idea would see the UK remain in the single market, allowing it to strike its own trade deals with the rest of the world, but it would require us to accept freedom of movement and to continue to pay into the EU budget. This idea is similar to Norway's relationship with the EU. It's a member of the European single market but opts out of the customs union. That's why you'll find hard border checks between Norway and Sweden, which is an EU country.
If we were not in a customs union and we were just talking about being in the single market similar to how Iceland is or Norway is, then you are able to negotiate trade agreements pretty much only solely focused on goods, and those countries have done so. Iceland, for example, has a trade agreement with China.
The question is whether we prioritise trade with our nearest neighbours or go for fast-growing markets on the other side of the world. The answer to that will determine what sort of trade deal we pursue. Adam Parsons, Sky News, London Gateway.